Friday. What is up? Nobody. Oh, that tastes awful. I don't know if I can drink that whole thing. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. That's disgusting. It's disgusting. Alright. Is this the whole list? I was going through this the other day, and I don't know. This is the whole list. I think they were still adding people. Oh man, I need to watch Fabian Lovett and Keon White. What's up, Christian? Cam Young, Ademiwa, Adebarwe, Adebaware. I'm gonna work through these names. I had to red flag DJ Johnson. He punched an Oregon State fan during the Civil War. And some teams aren't gonna like that. Some teams are not gonna like that. Oh, it's so gross. I don't have anything specific. I'm just kind of wrapping up the college football season, going through. This is obviously the Senior Bowl list. I got my watch list pulled up. We can talk about whatever. I do have, if we really want to get into some film, I just have, let's see here. I downloaded, I got a North Dakota State from last year. It's got Cody Mock and Jared Verse. It's North Dakota State versus Albany. I can pull that up if we run out of stuff. I got Georgia's offensive line versus South Carolina. So that's Cedric Van Pran Granger. I need to change his name in my watch list. I don't know why he hyphenated his name. It was already ridiculous enough. Versus Zach Pickens. Broderick, yep. And then I'm watching Dalton Wagner in the next couple of days. So I have 3 Arkansas games. I got Mizzou, so they have Trajan Jeffcoat and Isaiah McGuire. And also Arkansas has Trey Knox and Ricky Stromberg. I think Stromberg and Wagner are going to the Shrine Bowl. Then I have Arkansas versus Georgia from last year, so that'd be Jalen Carter and all of the Arkansas guys. I don't think Knox played that game. And then Alabama and Arkansas, so that would be probably all the defensive linemen from Alabama and all of the offensive players from Arkansas, and I think that's a pretty big game for Trey Knox. Ugh. But I don't have anything in particular. I'm just kind of here to answer questions, see what everybody else is thinking. If anybody has some just general thoughts or takes they want to throw at me, and I'll just shoot them right down. We can get into it. Oh, I retweeted my Cordell Volson. Yeah, me too. I've been waiting for a couple of weeks, but it's been a struggle. This is my buddy Taco. Hey. is the real hero of the show. Kev, are you still at work, dog? First big man off the board for the Bengals. Okay. I mean, they're picking in the back half of the first, like the very end of the first round, as if the season ended today. And I think for the most part, they can only move down unless they get bumped out of the playoffs or something. So, guys, I would draft, like in the 27 to 32 range. I definitely would look at, let's see. So, like, the Bengals in that position, probably looking at a player, the best player of need on their board. And based on the guys they usually like, if there's no corner there, obviously, you said big men. I would have to say they'd have to look at both of the right tackles, Darnell Wright and DeJuan Jones. Both of those guys totally worth end of the first round consideration. Also, like Andrew Voorhees, John Michael Schmitz, Cedric Van Pran, all of those guys, if they wanted to go interior offensive line. If we're talking defensive tackle, I'd really like Mozzie Smith from Michigan. I like Gervin Dexter from Florida. I would take Byron Young from Alabama. I know that's a name not a lot of guys are talking about in the first round, but he's got a late first, early second grade from me right now. I like Byron Young a lot, but I think they'd mostly stick to right tackle or somebody who could replace DJ Reader in the next couple of years. Otherwise, I really think they're going to look at some kind of defensive back. Maybe a tight end. Like if Darnell Washington is sitting there at 27, if they really like if Michael Mayer's still there. Trying to think if I'd like any of these other guys. I don't like a whole lot of these tight ends in the first round. Yeah, I think that's about it. It's a tough position. I mean, if one of these, if they really liked an edge player, like if Foskey was there, Anadike Uzama, those are Zach Harrison probably. I'm not as high on Zach Harrison, but he's definitely a kind of player the Bengals like. Big, athletic, long, holds the point of attack very well. Yeah, I think I'd pretty much stick to right tackle and nose tackle. Those would be the two positions I would look at the end of the first round. And a lot of people are I think the value of nose tackles has changed, especially recently, because a lot of teams like odd fronts to kind of combat the outside zones, and they're just super useful. Yeah, Darnell Wright would be great. But nose tackles, they're a lot more versatile. Like, if you got a good nose tackle, you can really change what you're doing up front. And, I mean, we see that every week with DJ Reader. They can run bare fronts. They can run even fronts with DJ. They love running those penny fronts with Pratt at the end. Like, they can do so much when you have a nose tackle that can hold that middle position in the line. So, I think a lot of teams are going to see how DJ Reader affects so much, and they're going to try and find their own guy. And I think this is a great draft to do that with. Let's see. Carter could probably do some of that for you. I wouldn't ask him to do it all the time, but I think that could be a really fun piece to have on your defense. Him and Bresee, however you say his last name, those two guys are the top echelon of interior defensive linemen. But I think Gervin Dexter and Mozzie Smith both have experience in the middle of a defense. They could come in and really really change how defenses run. Especially Mozzie. He plays an incredible amount of snaps for Michigan right now. It's pretty wild. He's one of my favorite players in the draft, and he's number 1 on Bruce Feldman's Freaks list. I think he's the Travis Jones of this year. Like, a lot of people were saying, me included, that Travis Jones should have been in consideration for the Bengals at 31 last year. Jones had pass rush, he had juice, he could hold the middle of a defense. He had to do it all at UConn because he was the only good player there. I think Mozzie Smith does it better than Travis Jones did, and he does it at a Power 5 program. And he does it for Michigan, who's in the playoffs, which is just incredible. So I don't think a lot of people are giving Mozzie enough of his flowers. I love Mozzie Smith. And Gervin Dexter, he doesn't seem to have as much juice as Smith, but I think he's stronger. I think he's definitely bigger. He's like 6'5", 6'6", 320, 330 pounds, and that dude can just eat blocks. Brzee is not, I don't think he's officially declared yet. A lot of these guys will wait for they'll probably wait another week or two. There isn't an absurd, I mean, he could have, and I just missed it. I get a lot, my feed is filled with transfer portals, draft declarations. It is really hard for me to keep track of right now. I'm trying to keep track. This is just my small little list of guys that I keep track of. Javion Cohen. There have been, I think, 6 Alabama offensive linemen that have they're either graduating. So Tyler Steen and Emil Ekiyor are probably getting drafted this year. Javion Cohen and 3 other offensive linemen from Alabama are leaving. I don't know who is blocking for who next year for Alabama, but it is going to be pretty interesting to watch. And if you are taking anybody to win the conference, if you're getting a future on the SEC West, do not pick Alabama. I do not think they're going to be very good next year. It is going to be pretty much a rebuild year for Alabama next year. Let's see how many of these guys I've watched. I've watched a lot. I've kind of cheated. Most of my watch list over here was the Senior Bowl watch list when I started doing all of this. And for anybody who doesn't know, all of the names highlighted are guys that I've watched. This is pinned to my Twitter profile. So if you scroll to one of these guys, I watched Ryan Hayes pretty recently. It'll take you straight to my Twitter thread. I think it's a pretty useful tool. I don't know how many people actually know that they can do that and that I have it posted to my my Twitter profile. But I mean, I've watched a lot of players. I have opinions on all these guys, I think, and that's what all of this highlighting is. All of these guys are linked. So I am really excited for this year's draft. I don't think I put as much work into something outside of my actual job into anything like this ever. So I'm really excited for it. I've already watched 85 players. We saw 3 of them already enter the transfer portal. So I have 82 draft eligible players that may or may not enter the draft. I had 118 watched between October and April of last year. Yeah, 85. It feels like a lot. I'm getting to the point where I've kind of I'm definitely out of 2022 film for these guys, so I'm kind of going back and going through the watch list to start watching guys that I haven't watched yet and don't have tape out there for 2022. So what part of my setup do you like? But yeah, I plan on having I don't like putting numbers on stuff. I just want to watch guys. I want to watch as many guys as possible so I have an idea and that I can make like my Google documents for everybody to kind of, when they're going through their mock drafts and stuff, to be like, well, I've got 3 or 4 players at a position I know my team needs. Where can maybe I can go over to Jared's thing and he can kind of help me figure this out. That was the whole idea behind the big boy board. So I just want it to be bigger. I want it to be more people have more tools at their disposal so they can learn all of these players. It's one of my favorite things is the draft process. I love watching these guys. I especially love watching offensive and defensive line play. So I know I'm not the only one out there, and I just wanted to make the twisted tea. I drank all my beer on Sunday. I didn't have very much, but I got real excited that we beat Kansas City. So I drank all my beer, and all I've got is this leftover twisted tea from the summer. It was 24 ounces, and I don't drink very much, so I might be lit by the end of this. All right, let's go through some of these Senior Bowl names because I've watched a lot of them. I love the Senior Bowl. It's one of my favorite events. One of my dreams is to go and scout all the players while they're there. But it's also kind of cool that I've been watching these players throughout the season, and now some of them are getting accepted and are definitely going, and it'll be it's just a really cool event in my opinion. That and the Shrine Bowl. I love any kind of all-star game. It's just cool seeing all of these names in one place, for real. So, Byron Young, I'd mentioned him earlier. He's one of my favorite. Oh, man. I can feel it. It's stuck in my chest. Got a big burp. That wasn't it. There it was. Oh, yeah. We got it. Byron Young. He plays all over. He's a pretty versatile guy for Alabama. He plays all over. He can do a lot. Actually, let's go ahead. Since we're here, I will pull up his Twitter thread, and we'll just watch these clips. This is Young here. He's got a lot of burst, a lot of power. He's just like he reminds me of a more athletic Fedarian Mathis, and I loved Fedarian Mathis last year. I'm not doing it for credit, man. I just like doing it. It's like my 5 to 9, whatever the Dolly Parton commercial is. I just do it for funsies. I don't like the cool thing about doing this for free is nobody tells me what to do. I don't have deadlines. I can do this all on my own time. I can do stuff like this where I just post up and run a Twitch channel for an hour and just say peace out when I'm done. So I kind of like that part of it, and if anybody says they'll give me money for it, I'll be more than happy. But for now, I'm just cool doing it this way. But yeah, Young's got, look at this. Look at that. Shock, lock, peek, and shed. Look at this. Poor Utah State. That's not fair. Alabama versus Utah State. This is A&M, I think. Yeah, this is Kenyon Green that he's going up against. First round draft pick, just making him look foolish. And Green was one of the strongest players in the draft last year. I love Kenyon Green's film. Where's he at here? He's here. Just a mean dude. I love Byron Young. Might want to block him. He's really good on these stunts and games and stuff up front. Here he is running the edge. Look at that. Like I said, pretty versatile piece. He's not going to be a nose tackle, but he can definitely play on any front, wherever you wanted to. I think he's a really good player. All right, what else we got? The best part about having a mustache is you get, like, beer stuck in it, and you can just, like, sip on it. Sip on it a little later. Derek Hall. Yes, I love Derek Hall. I think I have him listed as an edge. Yeah, love Derek Hall. He has a higher grade than B.J. Ojulari for me. He's just a big, strong, high-effort guy. He's got crazy long arms. He is really good at setting edges. He can get bendy and stuff. He's really good. But he's not my favorite Auburn defender. I love Colby Wooden, which I believe he's not in that play. Hold on, we'll find him. This is Colby Wooden, 25. He's my favorite. He plays everywhere. You see him line up here at the nose. He'll line up here. He'll line up out here. They just want him to create mismatches because he is very disruptive. But Derek Hall's pretty good. He's going to be a fun player to watch in one-on-ones during the Senior Bowl because I think he's going to bully some guys. I need to watch some Thomas Incoom. I've heard fantastic things about him. KJ Henry's coming off an ACL last year, so I haven't watched any of his film. It's one of those I don't have 22 film on him. You didn't like Wooden. I loved Wooden. I thought he was a maniac. I thought he had all of the tools. He has like burst, bend, and I think part of the thing is I don't know where you play him at the next level. He doesn't have he's good at everything, not good at one particular thing. Or not great at one jack of all trades, master of none kind of guy. I can get that, but I think he has the athleticism to definitely play as a disruptive piece at the next level. I think he can generate pressure with the best of them. Raw, yeah, he's definitely an athlete. Yeah, for sure. He's like a supercharged Zach Carter. Like, I have struggled with Zach Carter because he didn't look very athletic on film. I think Wooden's the same. Like, technically, he needs a lot of refinement, but his athleticism looks like it's off the charts. I love Colby Wooden. Fabian Lovett and Keon White, I haven't watched. Both of them interior D linemen in the ACC. I don't know what it is about this year. Last year, ACC film was super easy to get a hold of. This year, not so much. Maybe with the Senior Bowl. I think another thing is I didn't really start doing this, like the All-22, until January of last year. And I think a lot of stuff had been downloaded between the end of the season and had been out there between the end of the season and the Senior Bowl. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we can get some more film on these guys, especially the guys that are going to these all-star events. If I'm going to watch KJ Henry, I have to go to the YouTube. I still need to watch him. I know he's only played this year, but I'm pretty interested. I've seen a lot of praise for him this year. Ali Gay, pretty interesting choice for the Senior Bowl, and I guess these are all listed as defensive linemen. Gay's an edge. I wasn't too impressed with either of the LSU guys. Gay I watched the other day, so he's pretty fresh in my mind. As you can see, I don't have a very high grade on him. He misses a lot of tackles. He has these just high effort plays that are really impressive. He's got good length. He's pretty strong. Late December. That's what I kind of figured and kind of hope, because like that'll be when I have the most free time in general. But yeah, wasn't too impressed with Gay, but I think he has some tools to work with. I would take a late round flyer on him. I think he's at least worth a roster spot. Cam Young, he's a nose tackle that I haven't watched yet. He's a big boy. I've seen pictures of him with his belly. I haven't watched him yet, but I'm definitely excited to watch Cam Young. Isaiah McGuire, let's pull him up because I was pleasantly surprised. Because last year, I think Trajan Jeffcoat, he was on my watch list, and then he returned to school. So I just kind of left him off, and I think he played Boston College last year, and that was one of the games I watched for Zion Johnson and Alec Lindstrom and all of that. And he flashed a couple of times, but McGuire, he is the player to watch for Missouri. He does some wild stuff, man. He's 6'4", 280. He reminds me a lot of Carl Lawson. He's bendier than you'd expect. He's got a long frame. You can see his arms and long, but he's got these short legs that he can explode with. Yeah, I really like Isaiah McGuire. I think he's going to be one of these guys that just climbs and climbs in the draft process. This is against Bernard Ryman here. He just shoves him straight back into the quarterback. Just look at that. That's an effort sack. I fell in love with Isaiah McGuire. I think he's very good. Like a lot of Kingsley Enagbare, like needs refinement in some areas, but he has like absurd tools and he just played at a school that wasn't high profile enough to get his name out there. Here he is there. I love this play. This one right here. Just bam! Just shoving. Alright, so that's Isaiah McGuire. Big fan of his. I need to watch Adebawore from Northwestern. He's on my list. Him and Redmond. I just saw some Tyler Lacey film. I need to watch more of it. DJ Johnson. Alright, let's talk about DJ Johnson because I'm pretty sure he's a freakazoid. And I watched him punch an Oregon State fan, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how the NFL's going to feel about it. I think they're not going to care very much because of what he can do on the field. He's number 2 in these clips. This is him here. Watch him line up. He's going against the tight end here. Just absolutely trucks him. He started at Miami, transferred to Oregon, moved to tight end, moved from tight end to edge, but he played tight end and edge in 2021, and then now he's a full-time edge. So, this is him here. I love his hair. But he's an absolute freak. His explosion, he's going to test like just an absurd athlete. Where's he at here? Is this him? Yeah. Look at that. That was just instincts. He just, run's going away. Let's fill that hole. Hold on. I have, this is him here. I was about to say, I have him catching a touchdown. DJ Johnson. So, yeah, draft him. He's a freak. Let him play edge. Pretty interesting. I wonder if they're going to have him play offense at the Senior Bowl. Pickens, yes! I'm glad because he's the next person on this list. Zach Pickens is not getting enough love. Dollar General Julius Peppers. I wish he was as big as Julius Peppers. I think Johnson's going to be 6'2", 6'3", something like that. 260, 270. He's a little bit smaller. Pickens. We're watching Pickens. Zach Pickens here. Just jump over the personal protector for the quarterback. That's whatever. Pickens he's kind of like Byron Young, pretty versatile. He moves all over the line for the Cox, mostly inside. He's pretty strong against the run. He's got some juice in the pass game. I don't think his juice gets enough love. That's him on a double team, I think, or maybe he's on the opposite side in the 3. This might be him here. Yeah. Look at him. He's just like peeking. He's like, an attack. Yeah, definitely inconsistent. I wonder how much of that is he's playing in the SEC and the guys around him. He's had to deal with a lot of interchangeable parts at South Carolina. A lot of guys have been hurt and stuff in and out of the lineup this year. He was much more consistent last year, so I wonder if that's a big part of it. I know they lost his running mate on the inside. I think Big 98, maybe this guy here. Those two were a wrecking crew. Yeah, 99. Those two were a wrecking crew last year. Cincinnati Bengal question. Wonder if he's related to Carl Pickens. That would be cool. Oh, I think this play is wild. I can't remember. This is him here. No, it's not. It was not him. I was so wrong. It was him here. He's out here on the 4-eye. Just yeeting the left guard into the ground. His flashes are probably some of the best flashes on the D-line. Who else we got? Dylan Horton. Just downloaded a bunch of Dylan Horton film. I'm going to have him out by the end of the week. I'm really excited to watch him. I've heard nothing but good things. I saw him flash a couple of times against K-State in their championship game, so I'm really excited to dive into that. Tyree Wilson. Big Tyree Wilson fan. He's like Carlos Dunlap if Dunlap was strong coming out of college. Benton is fun. Yeah, I have an issue with Benton's consistency too. He stands up so much. Keanu Benton. I know a lot of people love his, and I don't get me wrong, I love his tools. He's just a big bully. I think he was a high school wrestler, like a state champion high school wrestler or something crazy like that. Just a absurd athletic specimen. Look at this. But his pads get too high. Yeah, his pass rush definitely leaves a lot to be desired, especially because he does such a good job throwing people around in the run game that you definitely think he has more to him. So I think he's probably going to go late day 2. I bet a lot of people are going to be, he's going to probably be the actual Travis Jones of this class, where everybody loses their mind at him at the Senior Bowl, and he has all those flash plays that you see on Twitter, and then April rolls around, he doesn't go till the 3rd or 4th round. That's how I feel about Keanu Benton. You had a 5th round grade on him? Okay, yeah. I usually put a little bit more into traits. Like, I'll bump guys up around, but, like, I'm right there with you. I don't think I've seen people put him in the 1st round and stuff, and I've just never seen that. Siaki Ika, I'm a pretty big fan of Siaki Ika. I think he goes in day 2 somewhere. A lot of pass rush ability. I don't think he has very good length. Yeah, Benton, I saw, I think it might have been a PFF mock draft, or somebody had him in the 1st round, and I was like, no way. and I don't even think he has a good PFF grade. I could be completely wrong about that, but it was pretty absurd. Let's talk about Yaya Diaby, though, because I would be remiss if I don't mention a Louisville Cardinal on this thread. I'm glad the Cards are getting some love down in the Senior Bowl. Where's Diaby? Oh, I love it. I love it. Talk about a guy who also very Carl Lawson-ish. A stocky build, long arms, strong as hell, got some bend to him. Doesn't have a lot of pass rush to him. He's like an all effort. He's got burst. He's got bend. Look at this. You just don't see that. And look, here he is here at a 5. Just controlling his man. This is Boston College that he's playing. Or no, this is Florida State. My bad. Maybe it's Florida State. Maybe Boston College. I don't remember the game. He just flashed this entire game. Here he is as a wrecking crew on a twist stunt. Just incredible stuff. Big Diaby fan. Go Cards. Rook Aurora. Go Cards. I hope they hire Jeff Brom or somebody. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to end up. I'm a big Rook fan. Love Rook. He's another one of these just super strong elite name. Elite name. If I could ever pronounce it, it would be elite. But I can't fucking pronounce his name. But Rook just kind of makes this whole thing go. He lets a lot of as you can see here, unsung hero. Like, he just eats up blocks. He takes up space. He's strong as hell. Do I know I have more than that one clip? Oh, I do. I had to click my own stupid thread. I think Rook is a damn good player. He's still. I saw somewhere recently that he's only been playing football since he was a junior in high school, and what he can do, and I think he's still a pretty moldable piece of clay. I think he's got athleticism. He's just strong as hell at the point of attack. He's so hard to move off his spot. Look at this. He just got stuff to clean up. He's still, like I said, still new to football. I'm excited to see him at the Senior Bowl when he has those one-on-one opportunities. So, good player. Love Rook. Rooting for him. Oh, here we go. We got offensive players. Yeah, that is a really good group going Mobile. How do Mississippians say it? Mobile or Mobile? I don't know. All right, let's move to the offensive linemen. You can act like 20 guys to watch. Come on, man, catch up. It's December already. Draft's in 5 months. All right, Bama. We got Emil Ekiyor. I mentioned him earlier. I don't think he has. I'm not too big of an Ekiyor fan. I don't think he's a terrible player. I think play strength is my biggest issue. He doesn't have real great grip strength. For me, it's Voorhees, interior offensive line 1. But that's only because I have not watched Osiris Torrance. I have heard only fantastic things about Torrance, and I have not watched any of them yet because I got no Florida film yet. I'm excited to watch him. Voorhees, but for me, Voorhees is 1. Probably go John Michael Schmitz 2, Van Pran 3 at the moment. And then I think Broker and Forsyth are right there behind them. I think those guys are pretty good. You only watch Broker against Kentucky? Torrance, okay. Yeah, I still I just gotta wait to watch. I want before I dive into Torrance, I want like 2 or 3 games. I want a pretty good sample size before I get because I don't want to get like 1 game and it's a phenomenal game and only have that to chew on. Blake Freeland, a lot of people love Blake Freeland. I'm not as big as a Freeland guy. I love his tools, but once again, I'm pretty, especially after last year, I'm not as into the athletes as I used to be. Scouting these guys, I used to love zone players and guys that could really move and run. This year, I've definitely changed. I've seen a lot of the guys that have been successful in their rookie year this season, and even the past couple of seasons. They're just they're the guys that can move people. So I'm putting a lot more into that bucket. And both Ekiyor and Freeland struggled with displacement at the point of attack, and you just got to be able to do that at the next level. And if you can't do it in college, there's not a whole lot that tells me you're going to be able to do it in the NFL. And to Freeland's, yeah, definitely kind of a weird frame. I think Ryan Hayes here for Michigan probably has the weirdest frame I've seen on a lineman in a while. He's got really long, like spider legs and short ass arms. Hold on, let's pull Hayes up. He's not a terrible player either. Like, he's definitely got some athleticism to him, but he's just got these long legs. Look at him. Look, they're just like big gangly legs and these tiny little arms. I even mention it here. but he can move and stuff. So I'd be interested. I don't know how well he'd be. I think he just got to learn how to use his body better, if that makes sense. For me, one of the big things I really like when you can tell a player knows his limitations, understands what'll make him the best version of him, and a lot of that'll come through in their play. A lot of it, like you kind of get through coaching, like these guys are being taught a certain way, and some coaches say this is the way it has to be done, and I think you can see that in some of these guys play, and I think Ryan Hayes is one of those guys. Where at Michigan you do things a certain way, they have a certain expectation, and I think it's a low floor play style that you get from guys from Michigan, as opposed to, it's just a kind of like a stick to your basics, stick to your technique, don't make too many mistakes, play this way instead of playing to your strengths, if that makes any sense. Then we got, alright, so Ekiyor Freeland, struggle for me with play strength. Hayes is kind of the same way, but I wonder how much of that is his frame. And like I said, the style of coaching that Michigan asks for. Duncan's disappointing. And I only say that because you watch Jalen Duncan and you see all of these phenomenal tools, and they're like, somebody that big should not be able to move that well and move guys that well. And then you're watching him in pass pro like, dude, shoot your hands, get your feet right. What is happening? You're playing so high. And he has not improved at all in the 4 years he's been playing left tackle at Maryland, and it's just so frustrating. The first round, the only person in this draft that moves anywhere close to Paris Johnson is Jalen Duncan, in my opinion. I think he's probably one of the best athletes at tackle. And in this tackle class in particular, the first round talk, I think, is a lot of positional value and betting on somebody's upside than it is their actual play on the field. And I think that's the whole thing with Jalen Duncan. I can't get on the first round board. I can barely get on the second round board, but I could totally get someone picking him early second, anywhere in day 3, really. That's where I would pick him. He could be an absolute steal on day 2. You tell me you get a 6'6", 330-pound dude that can run like the wind in the second round that has 4 years of left tackle experience? Yeah, I'd take that all day. Alright, I do want to mention Olusegun Oluwatimi. One of my favorite prospects. The only reason he is low tier, middle of the day, middle tier for me, is because I don't have any of his Michigan film. I watched a lot of his Virginia tape, loved his Virginia tape. He doesn't look too much like an athlete, but he wasn't asked to move too much, and I couldn't stand Virginia's scheme that he was in. But I'm pretty high on Oluwatimi, and I can't wait to watch his Michigan film. John Michael Schmitz, he's just a dog. John Michael Schmitz got that dog in him. He got that Great Dane Pit Bull mix. This guy right here, just hucking people, slamming bodies. John Michael Schmitz does not care about your family. He is going to put you in the ground repeatedly. This is the same game. This whole clip here is the same game. I'm talking pancakes on pancakes on pancakes. I love John Michael Schmitz. I would draft him in the first round of every draft forever. Amen. That's all I got. That's my John Michael Schmitz rant. I did see Brandon Thorne say that he kind of took a step back this year, that's kind of a bummer. Maybe he was hurt or something. I'd like to get more into it. I haven't watched any Minnesota film this year, so I'd like to dive in myself. But he's one of my favorite players still. Cody Mock, I just downloaded a game from 2021 that is Cody Mock and Jarrett Verse. North Dakota State versus Albany. And I can't wait to dive into that film. I might have to post that one here in the next couple of days. Patterson, he's another one of the play strength guys. Played center, and then they moved him to left guard this year. And the only game I got is a Ohio State game, and he didn't play. So, still waiting to watch some 22 of Patterson. See if that move to left guard kind of showed off any more to his game. Wanya Morris, I think it's Wanya. Don't cancel me for that, but I'm pretty sure on the pronunciation thing, on Oklahoma's thing, it's Wanya. But I'm excited that he's going to Mobile. He flashed a bunch in this Texas game. This is him here. Wanya, yeah. He showed some really good things against this Texas front that I was pretty impressed with, and I just want to eat up some more film of that. I was actually watching Anton Harrison, who I'm not very high on, as you can see. Harrison struggles. Another play strength guy. He's so smooth in pass pro, though. He's got great hands, great balance, great feet. I just don't think Harrison has the strength to play hard-nosed football, but he would be fantastic in a zone scheme, I think. Him going to Miami or something would be phenomenal for him. Miami or San Francisco. Who's still running zone anymore? Los Angeles. They ain't got draft picks. I'm trying to think. I think the NFL's real. New York, the Jets. I guess that would be one. That would be a good. Getting started with next to Lake and Tomlinson. That'd be a good situation for a left tackle. Yeah, and that's the only film I got of Patterson it's Notre Dame offensive line film. It's the only one there is against Ohio State. He didn't even play. Nick Broker, Alex Forsyth, love those guys. Forsyth, he is sneaky good for a center prospect. That's Jalen Carter. In case anybody's wondering. Once again, Jalen Carter, snatched by Alex Forsyth. Who we got? That's Carter again, anchoring. How many centers do you see anchoring against Jalen Carter? Who's going to be a top 5 pick? Forsyth came to play against Georgia. This is him out here on the edge against Nolan Smith. This is a Utah game. I just love this clip because you see him point out protections against Devin Lloyd here. And then he just picks up the blitz. I think Forsyth's going to be one of those guys that really... He's going to be like Fortner last year, where everybody's like, yo, he's pretty good. And then he gets drafted in the 3rd round, and they're like, wow, he got drafted really early. Steve Avila, definitely have to watch him. I was listening to Journey to the Draft with Dane Brugler. He was singing Steve Avila's praises. I've seen Duke Manyweather has said some good things about Steve Avila. Just don't have any TCU tape yet, so still working on that. I watched a little bit of Bergeron. He's one of those guys. I only have this one game from him. Thought he was incredible. This is against Clemson. That was against Miles Murphy. I was super impressed with it. Thought it was a great game. Need more film. Yeah, from the one game last year, I came out just absolutely stunned by Bergeron, so I really want to dive in more this year. Voorhees, one of my favorite prospects in general. I love Andrew Voorhees, and he missed the Pac-12 championship, and that was sad. But he's the left guard here. Hold on. This is like John Michael Schmitz. I think for the most part, this whole thread is just him destroying people. No, not there. He played meaner this year than the last couple of years. There he is, just snatching a dude jumping. Incredible anchor on him. He doesn't let anybody get through him. He's got a body type. He's got like short legs and a really long torso, and I think he's got incredible core strength with that. Here he is driving his guy downfield. Here he is out in space. He's a pretty easy mover too. I don't think I think he's probably going to test pretty well athletically. I don't think he's going to be a super duper athlete, but I think he's going to be above what people are expecting from him. This is Oregon State. I forgot about that. The Oregon State game was not a good game for USC on a whole, but Voorhees still played really well. Yeah, I think Voorhees is a first-round player. Is he going to get drafted in the first round? Probably not. Definitely worried about whatever injury kept him out of the last two games. He left early versus Notre Dame, and he didn't play in the Pac-12 championship, so he is a senior, so maybe he plays against Tulane, and we can get some more film of that. Would be pretty interested to see that. I haven't watched Braden Daniels yet. Yeah, McClendon Curtis. I guess I have to go back. I have to dig up the Cole Strange film to watch McClendon Curtis. So I think he's like 6'7", 330 pounds or something stupid too. I think he's a big old boy. Got Josh Wiley, Luke Musgrave, and Dalton Kincaid as the only tight ends. The only one I haven't watched is Musgrave, Oregon State film. Not super easy to find. Love Wiley, Cincinnati guy through and through. And Dalton Kincaid, one of my favorite tight ends. I think he's probably tight end. I think I posted the other day he's tight end 4. Just a absurd athlete. Did I quote tweet? Stupid clip. Where's that clip from USC? I guess I didn't do that. But yeah, overall, that's it with the Senior Bowl. 234. Yeah, just he absolutely. I think he got hurt that game and ended up not playing too many games after that. But he absolutely crushed USC single-handedly. Oh, it was really impressive. So yeah, that's I guess that's the whole senior. No, I don't watch wide receivers, man. They're too pretty. I can't. I like them down dirty trench boys. I don't like wide receivers. Them man cornerbacks and quarterback. I don't like them pretty boys. I'll say the only reason I even watch tight ends is because I played tight end in high school. So I feel some kind of kinship. Like, I loved blocking and stuff. I thought I love getting down with the hog mollies down there. So yeah, that's the Senior Bowl. Yeah, Bengals definitely need a tie in, and this is a good year to need one. That's probably one of my most watched positions. Let's see. I think I've watched 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I've watched 15 tight ends, so I got a pretty good handle on this class. This Josh Lifson's pretty funny. There was a tweet that duped me last year and said that the Bengals worked him out at their pro day, which, I mean, could have been true, except he didn't declare for the the draft. Yeah, man, Bethune-Cookman. you gotta get them draft lists. That is a real school. You gotta get them draft watch lists right, man. You can't be missing out the Bethune-Cookman. I think it's in Arkansas. Hold on, let's Google it. Where is Bethune-Cookman? Daytona Beach, baby. It's in Florida. Oh, man. Another thing about some of these guys, you'll see via Western Kentucky. These were guys that transferred via Jacksonville State. I cannot find film on those. And I think like Tylen Grable here, I think he's like 6'8". The people need all of the film. I hate that all 22 film is treated like some dark secret, but also like I kind of want to keep it secret because I don't know, I just feel obligated. Feel obligated not to tell people where I get it. I wish I did. I wish I was more personable. I wish I got to know the right people. But it's whatever. I kind of like doing it the way I do it. Maybe someday I'll know the right people. And just keep doing what I'm doing. Oh, but other than that, I don't really have college football playoffs are the right teams. I was really worried the committee was going to put Alabama in. Glad they put TCU in. That made me happy. Bengals beat Kansas City. That was a fantastic game. Still think the Bengals need a draft. A nose tackle. Especially because they released Tyler Shelvin today. Heisman finalist, give it to Caleb Williams. He's earned it. I don't think Stroud doesn't have that win. I feel like Caleb Williams, even though they lost to Utah twice, he balled out against UCLA and Notre Dame. He's had some fantastic moments. Well, it's because he should win. I hate these people saying Stetson Bennett should win. Those people can go kick rocks. Not a fan of that at all. Dude's 25 years old. I think it sucks that Hendon Hooker got hurt because he would for sure be my number one. And it sucks that they lost to South Carolina. Because I think they should have been in the playoff too. But I was big time rooting for Tennessee. Oh, do I have any other final thoughts on the college football season that I need to get out? I think I've said most of what I don't like Scott Satterfield as UC's head coach. That's pretty garbage. I don't think UC fans are going to like that for very long. Yeah, man, you're in here every week I do this, you're in here. I had to follow you. I felt like I was doing you a disservice not following you. I'm trying to think. Louisville should hire Brian Hartline as their head coach. Or Sharon Moore from Michigan. He's one of my favorite candidates and nobody's hiring. I noticed. I noticed you're from Brazil and you have a lot of tweets in Portuguese, right? They're in Portuguese? Because I know a little bit of Spanish and that didn't look like Spanish to me. I just hit the translate button, brother. I'll figure it out. Oh, any more? Oh, we got. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have much else to talk about. Kind of hungry. I think my wife's making dinner now. Making buttered noodles. I promise it's just not butter and noodles, but that's what she calls it. But I think that's going to be it for the stream. Somebody asked me if I could YouTube this, so I guess I'm going to try to do that for the next, 3 hours. I don't know how much that entails. So, thanks for stopping by. We'll do this again in 2 weeks. Hopefully I'll have some more film then. And we'll actually break down some prospects. But I think I definitely like this format. So maybe we can do this again sometime soon. So, see y'all.